All right, guys, what's up? Spike Shooter here with Jonas Mark. As always, we're gonna be doing something a little bit different because our usual week in wrestling fix that we get from the Spark Busters was not yesterday, so we'll fill in the void as best we can. We're not gonna do this as an everyday thing because that would just get repetitive. But Joe Mark is here. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Just chilling.
Yeah. Well, we were originally going to do this yesterday, but I guess you had some shit you had to do instead.
Yeah, I had a friend visiting from a year and a half ago. I hadn't seen since pre-pandemic, and his parents finally let the chains off and let him decide to travel outside of his own mile radius of the house.
Mile radius? Are you kidding me?
He literally has nothing near him. He lives at like the top of this huge ass hill. There's nothing near him, and the closest thing is a D'Angelo's and a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, before we go into the Raw and SmackDown reviews, I just wanted to say that I didn't even watch Backlash, which was tonight. I know you definitely didn't either.
Nope.
But there was a couple noteworthy things I'll talk about just very quickly. Batista came back. Even after he said he wanted nothing to do with the company after that last run he had that ended with Triple H beating him at WrestleMania a couple years ago.
Huh.
But he was there to promote his movie Army of the Dead, which is a Zack Snyder film. And during one of the matches, which includes your favorite from like 10 years ago, The Miz, when he was facing Damian Priest, it was a lumberjack match. And remember at WrestleMania where it was all about the bunnies during The Miz's entrance?
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah, well, this time when they were doing their lumberjack match as a way to promote Batista's movie, they decided to bring in zombies as the lumberjacks.
Awful.
And during the match, they were 69ing Miz. Like a big crowd of zombies were just covering him all over the place.
Well, I'm sure he enjoyed that more than anybody else.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I wonder how much Batista got paid.
Oh, probably a lot because they probably wrote him a sweet-ass check just to show up, considering what he was talking about with WWE not even a year ago. So
yeah,
there you go with that.
Go back and no amount of money would make him go back, and that he's happy. And Vince probably said, "Hey, here's more than what you're getting now. Come back for one night."
Yeah, pretty much. And Bobby Hill, you're right. Wrestling is pretty much dead as fuck now. Especially if this week wasn't much of a. If it didn't shed a light on that, then I don't know what else to say. Because there's a lot of stuff we're gonna get into. So we're gonna start with Monday Night Raw, and the way we're gonna start it off is with Divas.
Oh God!
8-year-old Japanese girl Asuka and some other ones versus Charlotte Flair, who's trying to look more feminine than she used to, and then two fat ugly girls in Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, who. It's always such a great way to get ratings in there. But yeah, from the looks of it, the match sucked. Of course, the baby faces go over, and there's nothing really to say, honestly. I mean, what is about Asuka that they see? Honestly,
she's international. She's got the fucking rainbow hair, all these fucking neck beards. Just like what they said on the Smarkbusters. There's all these fucking perverts in their basement watching gay porn, and the few percentage that's not watching gay porn and ponies is just watching, we have this obsession with the Japanese culture, and it's so great, so we have to promote people from over there, and like they'll just literally bring anyone over. Like they could literally take a 70-year-old Asian woman off the street, bring her over there, and think it'll get ratings. It won't, because the people suck.
You know what else is like really ridiculous too? I know she did a recent interview, and in like one part of it, she said that she wanted to wrestle Triple H at some point. I mean, seriously, that kind of shit can work in Japan when you have the men facing the women, but in North America, that shit will just get laughed at, especially when Triple H looks hell of a lot more legit
I
than
mean,
even a lot of the male rosters. So come on now.
if it ends with her getting a sledgehammer to the head, I'll allow it. I'll go for it.
Yeah, that's true. But then we go to the segment and we get more arcade bro stuff with that Matt Riddle, who I don't know again what they see in him. It's just, I know that people like before he came in, he was like a big MMA guy, but then he talked shit about Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, which was laughable. But as you know, he's in a tag team with Randy Orton, and I guess apparently last week there was some sort of segment where the New Day were doing something with Elias and Jackson Ricker or something like that, and there was like a tomato fight, and then Randy Orton was accidentally hit with a tomato. So this week, RK Bro and New Day were having a segment where they were talking about the incident, and then Randy Orton's like coming in all steamed, and he's like, "What I think is fun is ending careers, killing legends, kicking people in the head, and setting things on fire." Just an awful segment, honestly. And I can't believe Randy Orton went from at least being a cool heel. I don't think he was ever like one of my favorite heels, but he was at least better than he was in more recent times.
So
He was okay with doing that, but now he's teaming up with Matt Riddle. I mean, are you kidding
the whole
me?
drama? The whole drama that came up is fucking a tomato fight.
From last week, that's what they were referring to, but they were talking about a tomato fight that happened last week.
That's the big twist and turn in the wrestling world. Is hey, I'm pissed that people were throwing tomatoes.
Yeah, I mean, this
Jesus,
is like
fuck.
it's just for like preschool humor. You got hit by a tomato.
Great! Wow, wonderful. Yeah, great. Yeah, wow. Just. I didn't think it could get any shittier, and they prove me wrong every week.
Well, they're going to continue to prove you wrong, honestly, because how much lower can they go? I mean, this is starting to go into an abyss, pretty much, with all this weird humor and stuff like that only nerds or little kids would definitely enjoy. But then we had another backstage segment with Braun Strowman and MVP. There was just a whole lot of nothing that was being said. And then guess who's back this week on Raw? It's everybody's favorite former champion, Jinder Mahal.
Oh, God. Does he have a bra this time? Does he have a bra?
No, he still has the boobs from the steroid injections still.
Great. So I say put a wig on him, give him a bra, and sign him up for Divas, because he still looks more feminine than half the women over there. He looks more like a woman than Nia Jax.
Yeah, pretty much, honestly. But his return match is against Jeff Hardy, of all people, who's pretty much has nothing to do. And guess what they did? They actually had Jeff Hardy job out to a returning Jinder Mahal.
Great. So I feel like Matt Riddle is just a replacement for Jeff Hardy, because I feel like they're going to release him eventually, and they're trying to make this cool PG friendly stoner version with this fucking Riddle guy, because he sucks.
But Jeff Hardy wasn't even a stoner personality, honestly. That was more Rob Van Dam's thing. Oh, and I think we lost him for a little bit, but yeah, it was. I think it was absolutely ridiculous that they had Jeff Hardy completely job him out, just to have him job him out, because Jeff Hardy deserved at least a mid-card title reign during this run. There's like no point in having him completely lose to a guy that's returning that nobody even cares about except for the anti-smarks that want to prove a point or something. But yeah, I didn't like the fact that they lowballed Jeff Hardy like that, honestly. I mean, what can you do with him now? No one will take him seriously after something like that. But after that, it was another segment of Jackson Riker and Elias talking about tomatoes with AJ Styles and his bodyguard type. Just absolutely ridiculous that we were continuing with talking about tomatoes. But then we get RK Bro and the New Day versus AJ Styles, almost Elias and Jackson Riker. Nobody cares about this tag team match or this. I don't know if you call it triple threat match or something like that, but it was another shit fest with the baby faces going over. What more can you say? There was another segment with Diva shit. I'm not going to go into it. But then I was really hoping that we could talk with Joan about this. But Humberto and Sheamus was the next match. And apparently there was some sort of stunt that they were going to do that I guess involved, what was it, a sunset flip power bomb from the apron to the floor, and I guess Humberto didn't do it right, and he got hurt as a result of it. So I don't know if he is down for a while, or if he just died or something like that. I don't think anybody gave a shit, but with stupid stunts like that, it's never going to be any good anyway. But that's just another reason why you can't really do stunts like that. He said he's going to be coming back in a little bit. So hopefully that means the next 5 seconds or something like that. But after that, we got the remnants of the Hurt Business, which is Cedric Alexander versus Sheldon Benjamin. Because we need to be reminded that the Hurt Business broke up and that these two are actually feuding. It's kind of hard to even watch this match, even with that in the back of your mind, because of how awesome the Hurt Business actually was in like one of the worst eras of WWE anybody can think about. But yeah, Sheldon Benjamin went over. His career's pretty much over now. He's gone. Cedric Alexander is probably just going to be a main event exclusive. Yeah, main event, which has been around for 12 years now. And, it's just awful to see the Hurt Business didn't get more time than they were given. I think that they definitely benefited just by being in the stable. I know Sheldon Benjamin has been around for a while, but Cedric Alexander was just a 205 live guy, pretty much directionless. I mean, I don't really like the guy. He's just another flippy dive guy, but at least he had some sort of character, some sort of personality just being in the Hurt Business, and I don't think he's going to really last any much longer now that the only thing that he was good for is pretty much done. So yeah, Sheldon Benjamin goes over. Who gives a shit? After that, more diva shit with Asuka and Rhea Ripley, because Rhea Ripley's another one I don't really get. Just another manly-looking woman. Nobody cares about this match. I know Rhea Ripley won it, but again, who gives a fuck? Damian Priest versus John Morrison. That's another guy. I don't know why they're pushing so hard. I mean, he was with Bad Bunny in WrestleMania, feuding with The Miz and with John Morrison. And I don't know. I don't get this guy either. He just seems like another guy who's just there. But he wins. Who gives a shit? Miz comes out and beats him up. Again, anything that involves The Miz is just going to be absolute crap. Never liked The Miz, honestly. Even back when he was still doing the reality show gimmick. I mean, enough said. We get another vignette for Eva Marie. Again, don't care. I know anti-smarks are just loving the fact that she's coming back because they can stick it to the nerds, the next beards, and the smarks, but I just don't give a fuck. Seriously, I don't give a fuck about Eva Marie. I mean, sure, we can talk about how her segments were always like up in the millions when they were on YouTube, but again, it's just the Bella Twins all over again. And again, it's another person with dyed hairs. Honestly, this is not this isn't anything that I give a fuck about. And then in the main event, it was Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre because, of course, we need to have a WrestleMania match shown again on the main roster, not the main roster, the main TV shows. What was the point of even having it on WrestleMania if you're just going to show it on free TV? But Drew McIntyre won on via disqualification just because Braun Strowman, I guess, interfered and was causing a distraction. But yeah, there was nothing really to say about this Raw. Just absolutely awful, very gay. But that's just how WWE is now. J Reds, as Eva Marie looks like life-size Barbie doll anti-smarks have such low standards. I mean, that's pretty much it. I wouldn't have thought that even people that liked her would have low standards like that, but you know how it is. So now we're going to head on to SmackDown, and let me just bring it up because I have the recap up here. I just had to bring it up top here. Again, this one there wasn't too much that went on. It was kind of boring, but yeah. I mean, they start with Jay and Jimmy Uso, which I guess are having some dissension because Jay is too much into the cause with Roman Reigns, and Jimmy thinks that he's just being Roman's bitch. And yeah, I mean, the segment was just a little bit boring. Reigns as a heel is starting to feel a little bit stale. I honestly have kind of cooled off on Roman Reigns as a heel because everything is the same. The promos are the same. The matches are the same. There's not much we can say. I think that Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso will probably have a feud at some point along the line. But I mean, does anybody really care about the Usos? Because you know they had so many years where they were a tag team. They gave them the titles a good amount of times, and then they tried to have them do the heel Black Lives Matter gimmick. Yeah, it was not really something that really found really entertaining, but they were Rikishi's boys, so they're giving chance after chance after chance after chance. So then right after that, of course, the first match of the night, just like Raw, is a Divas match. And again, we have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler as a part of it. I mean, I think it's time to finally call these two the rating killers. We have to come up with some sort of nickname for them because just having these two on screen should be a ratings tank. Like, at least for the time that they are on television. But I guess they were basing Natalya and Tamina Snuka, and they won the tag titles from them. So yeah, maybe Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler should just disband right then and there because they're completely useless now that they don't have a belt and stuff like that. And then after that, we get Apollo Crews doing some sort of Nigerian Prince of Honor ceremony to, I guess, his backup guy, Aziz. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. But then we have, during the segment, they do something that they've done over and over and over and over and over and over again for the past how many years, where you have one wrestler come out, cut a promo, to interrupt one guy. Then they have another guy come out to cut a promo to cut him off, and it's just gotten so redundant and cheap. Why do they keep thinking that this is a good way to have a segment with one guy coming in to interrupt the other guy? Can we just stop with this? Seriously? I mean, try something new. Get this style out of the like out into pasture and just shoot it with a gun. So after that, Rey Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler, because I guess Dolph Ziggler has a problem with Dominic. Who cares? I don't know why Dominic is even still trying to be a wrestler after how much he's embarrassed himself already. But Rey Mysterio won it. And who cares? After that, we get more diva shit with Bianca Belair and Bailey. I don't get why this is a feud. I don't even know why they're fighting. But that's just WWE in a nutshell. After that, we got Shinsuke Nakamura and King Corbin. And the reason that they're fighting has to do with the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura did not like how King Corbin pinned him, because that's, I guess, the way to be upset and have a rematch. But yeah, hold on one sec. I just have to type something out here. But yeah, Shinsuke also said something that I really did not like, which was, King Corbin may be the king of the ring, but he is the king of style. And people thought that this guy from Japan needed to be pushed to the moon. With material like that, why take yourself seriously? Why do you even want to be taken seriously? Honestly. They had the match. King Corbin won. Again, who cares? After that, we see this guy, Aleister Black, another Smart favorite, do a segment that reminded me of the Finn Balor, like, Game of Thrones style promo where he talked about the beast, or what was it, the demon? Sorry, it would kind of remind me of that style of promo, but yeah, no one gave a shit. But yeah, after that, another Jimmy Uso backstage segment. And then we get to the main event with Jimmy Uso versus Cesaro. Cesaro won by DQ because Roman Reigns had to interfere and protect his family. Just awful bullshit right there. So that was both your Raw and SmackDown. Honestly, it wasn't really that great for your week of wrestling. Yeah, so that's about it. That's all I'm going to talk about. But yeah, nothing really too good to discuss with this week. So we'll end it right there, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care.